Yeah, so Fearless, that's what's good about this tool is you can extend the usage of your $20 subscription. That was when I was building this, you are the client that I had in mind. And that's why I focus so hard on the token efficiency for anybody who's using this. And with Claude, I could get up to 99% token efficiency. And right now it's at 31, 32, there's 40, and it'll just keep climbing. And I actually have tools that are built in that interject certain prompts throughout. So there's three layers to this. You have my tool, which is the front layer for me to, this is my first layer here, is my first prompt going in. And then you have the terminal that'll have to send that prompt to the CLI, which is an app built into the terminal. So there's the second layer. The third layer is after the terminal, the CLI, behind it, there's a API or an HTTP request that gets sent out to the actual company, like the Anthropic, the LLM. So you can actually capture tokens there also. So there's three layers that you can do this in. And what I'm doing is, the way a context window works is the first time I send a prompt, there's 5 things that the code does. The first thing is it'll read, or first it'll send your prompt to Anthropic for the AI to understand what you're saying. It'll run tools over there, then it'll send it back, and when it comes back, there's tools on inside the CLI that it runs. And these are all logged into your context. Every single tool you use is in your context. And by the time it gets back to you, your context just grew a whole bunch. And that's off of one prompt. And every time you send another prompt, it has to send that last one and your new prompt back through, and it comes back, and it grows even more, and so on and so forth. And that's why they, now they're giving you like 1 million contexts that you can send, which is huge. But what I'm doing is all those tool calls that it's sending, because they're just logs now at this point, I strip all that out. There's certain characters I strip out. I pull all that out of it. So I have 3 ways that I interject the prompt before it even reaches LLM. And there's also, when it comes back through, before it even touches the CLI here, I go in there and I strip out the input going into my computer, pretty much, or into the CLI. So that's how I do my token efficiency. How the actual tools work, I don't want to share that with you, because I've learned things on how a lot of these operate. What do you mean testing simulation? So Pizza Hunter, I don't know if you just got here or if you heard my explanation. I'll tell you everything that's different about it from BridgeMind. First, you won't see me jumping up and down and doing 100 push-ups. That's cool that he can do that. I wish I could, but no, I mean, he's very energetic. The other thing is, mine, you can use free AI if you want to. You can use subscription AI. You can use APIs AI. And I also have token efficiency, where you could run multiple agents at the cost of running one on your normal tool. There's a lot of things that are different in here from BridgeMind. I actually built this for the user, not for the sale. So if you want to know the difference, mine's useful. So yeah, I mean, as long as you have a project folder and your simulation, whatever you want to connect to, whatever you want to run, this will be able to operate. It's no different than using just your regular CLI on your terminal or you're using a desktop uh, version of your AI. What makes this special is the other thing is I have a director here. My director will facilitate to the team, which this team, like these two are coders. This is an auditor. And I could change them. I could do a QA, DevOps. I could add another one here. And this one, I want him to be the writer. I could change them. If I want to change, I want this to be Codex, which is ChatGPT. I could do that. And then my director, he has a roster up here on top. I'm pointing to the monitor as if you can see me. But he has a roster up here on top. And you can look at there at the topology, and you can see what each one is actually doing. These are all idle. They don't have a task. But when I actually have the director to start doing certain things, the director will facilitate that and send it off to all the terminals out there. And the director will keep me up to date on what's happening at all times. And the terminals will send information back to the director. So, there's a lot of cool things that this does. You can come in here and you can see if you have any forks for your Git, your repository. I can see that I have 6 work trees, and I could look at how many commits each one has, and I can see which one I could either ship to merge or reject myself personally as the user. So you could have the AI do it all for you, or you can intervene and do it yourself. The other thing is I can view the agent activity here and understand their communications with each other and what's going on. The other thing that mine does, his does not, is, let's see here. My memory is different than his because how my memory works is each team has their own memory, but every team member and the director shares the same memory in that team. It is not a global memory. Otherwise, it'll just grow too big and get too big for your project. So if I come in here and create another team, I call this web dev. That's a terminal error that I'm running into right now. But anyways, mine does a lot of things different. Now, his, like I said, his is much more mature. Mine still has a bunch of bugs, but I'll iron them out. Functionality-wise, mine, I believe the way mine is going to flow for your vibe coding is going to be way different than his. So, but what he has works for him and works for people. What I have works for me, and I'm hoping that it'll work for you as well. It's just how I develop and how I see things. I'm actually a Microsoft, I'm a 365 architect for a big company, and I manage all their cloud infrastructure. So my background, I have over 20 years of experience when it comes to dealing with infrastructure, design, and development. Yeah, you can save work trees and storage spaces. Exactly. Yeah, it could do that for you. So what do I think about the software and SaaS market for the next year? It's growing. So here's the thing. The problem is people want to, they see an idea and they're like, oh my gosh, this company, makes $1 billion. And what happens is they're right. So people start cloning what they're doing. And what they're doing is every clone drops the value of what that company or what that niche is worth. So what this company was selling for $100 a month for the product, the next clone will sell it for $99 and so on and so forth. After around 50 clones of this company, by the time you get in and start developing the same company as everybody else just built, you're down here eating just these scraps. You could only charge like $5 a month for yours or $6, whatever, because These other ones are way more mature than yours, and plus there's so many clones, and it's already saturated. I don't. Well, I hate the word saturated because anybody can even get into the saturated market and make big money. You just got to be able to do it right. But pick a niche that that's boring, that most people don't think about. And like for example, I did. I built a SaaS here. That's what this is. Um, this is my niche is being able to build an entire invoicing and billing system and customer um, database for companies like plumbers, HVAC, electrical, these type of industries here. And it's boring. It's not fun to look at. It's not all flashy, but it has a purpose. And this is the price that I can charge right now for mine is because I'm lower than my competitors. And I don't have very many out there that does exactly what I do. So to enter your Cloud Code subscription, um, you, these are terminals, no different than your command prompt. That's all these are. They're command prompts inside of my tool. And the same way you access your Claude, you type it in. Yes, trust this folder, right? So I'm already in. So when these open up, when this comes in here and you click on here, I'll do it here, and you click on Claude, it does that step for you where it types it in for you. And the bypass permissions, that's because I have it checked down here. So it puts that command in when it loads in a terminal. I built an app but can't launch it because it has AI features and other couple features that I have to pay for, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. I have an app that I have AI to it. So the way I did it, this has AI in it. I have a receptionist here. You can call that number here, or you could go, and this is my receptionist for my system here. Or you could come in here and see it running, and I have a demo plumbing company that you could call and see how she actually handles your company if you had a plumbing company. This is all AI. The other thing that's AI is inside of my app here, the scheduling. Let me go to the demo here. Yeah. So the scheduling here. What the heck's going on? You got kicked out there. This can, and you can turn it on or off, but you see where it says appointments booked by Hannah? Hannah is your AI. If you call the company and you need help or you need assistance, that turns into a lead. A lead can be followed up many different ways, but I have an AI that handles all of it. And it can actually book these appointments based on your conversation. What I built in here, it's called the smart scheduling. And I have AI that runs algorithms that'll find out what neighborhood you're in, where you live, based on the information you give it. And it'll find out what the best times that they can send a tech out in your area. Because what you don't want is if you have a company that has 5 technicians out in the field and you've given one technician a job over here and a job over here, he's got to drive all the way across town from one end to the other just to be able to make it to his next appointment. So to avoid that, my smart scheduling, what it'll do, it'll find out groups in a neighborhood for the best position. So it'll know that at this time at 3 a.m. on May 13th, so if you call and you're living here, it'll try scheduling in the area and also try to assign you the tech that's going to be in that area to keep the technicians in the same area. Because a lot of companies, they lose their job or they lose a lot of money from driving from one plant to the next because of the distance. So you try shortening that to increase the money that the company makes. This is all done by AI. And how I did it, I'm using Claude API, and I put in so many credits in there, and it's not being used until it's ready to be used. So that's how I launched it. Sorry, that was a huge explanation for your question. I'm sorry. I just had to explain all that.